What's up, everybody? Juno Me, number one on here. Jeff Garcia, Scott McFadden. I mean, these are really the people who... Can you hear me? Juno Me? Juno Me. I know you, the Juno Me. That's the question. You know what I'm talking about like that, right? What's up, Charlie? Can you guys hear me? Iceberg Slick. Iceberg Slick? Am I even going to come to Vegas now? What's up, BUA? Back at you. Scotsman. Okay, Scotsman, you can hear me too. Everybody, you guys know. First of all, I've just been drawing all morning. What do you guys think of that? Little quick thing. What's up, Travis Johnson? I can't go live with you right now because I got Troy that I'm doing a whole thing with right now. What's up, Big Fern? Executive producer in the house. Albuquerque in the house. Manny is on the other feed at Rage Against the Machine right now. Whoa. So, guys, today is going to be really interesting because contrary to what I usually do, which is I usually draw this and this. This is just my sketchbook where I get crazy there. I'm going to wave to everybody here. I'm waving. Usually, I'm just going to I do a drawing assignment. Like, for example, tomorrow I'm drawing with David Arquette at 10:30, and then Billy does it at 11:30. What's up, Johnny? I will do some women's faces, Jeff, but I will tell you this, and I am not ashamed to admit it. I am not the best woman's face person. Okay, so let me go live with Troy because we're going to get some really important information today. We're really here to have Troy on because he's incredible. Good day, Mr. B. Back at you, Mr. Johnny Utah. What's up, Troy?
Yo, what's crack-a-lacking, baby?
So when you do interviews, are you always drenched in sunlight?
Hold on,
Troy's going to get naked, probably, is what's going to happen.
Hold on.
God, Troy's in such good shape. I want to punch him in the face, but then I would get punched back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I like how healthy you are, Troy. You feel really healthy. Every time I see you, I'm like, you're even like bathed in sunlight when you're talking. Like I got to open up this or something with some little photosynthesis going. What's crack-a-lacking? Everybody.
Well, hopefully I'm healthy, man. If you're advocating health, then you want to have some semblance of health for yourself,
Well,
right?
There's a lot of motherfuckers out there who are advocating health who look pretty unhealthy. I think Bill Gates is looking more unhealthy. Every time I see him, he looks a little bit more serpentine. I don't want him telling me about health when Bill Gates looks the way he does. I like people that tell me about health who I'm looking at going, wow, they're healthy, or they look in shape, or they look just, like glowing.
Or let's go back to the origins of man. Let's go back to, as in physics, they say, first principles. What is it that makes up human tissue? We are made of the earth. We are made of stardust. And so the earth should probably be pretty clean, right? The water that you're ingesting, the soil that you're growing your food in and eating, and the air that you breathe. I think if we focused our billionaire efforts towards that, and I'm not waiting for Bill Gates to do that. I'm already doing that. But I think we could focus our mind power, our brain power, our innovation, human ingenuity on creating clean air, clean water, clean soil, and clean energy systems that are going to create that. That's just where my head goes at.
You're right.
Fundamental principles.
You're 100% right, Troy. Troy, as you know, that I sketched this morning, just to let you know that I might be sketching you. I usually sketch with everybody, but with you, I feel like we have such a limited amount of time, and it's so important to bless everybody with information. And I agree with you, man. Like, this is really ironically a great opportunity for the earth to reboot itself, and for all of us to realize, to take it as an opportunity to realize, like, we got to get our health in check, even though I think we all feel that there's definitely another shadow agenda going on. But
Well,
Troy,
let me just say right there, Justin, you know, a lot of us are environmentally minded, you know, we care about the Amazon. Greta Thunberg became one of the most popular people out there, you know,
that's right.
talking about the environment. But it's very simple. The natural law of correspondence states as above, so below. So how do we expect the world to be healthy if we're not healthy right now? 70% of the American people are obese or overweight. You've
Yep.
got diabetes, 33%. So we only have to look at ourselves as individuals and raise our frequency and vibration as high as we possibly can with these natural fundamental principles, basically aligning with natural principles, the harmonics of the natural rhythms of the natural world. That's my humble opinion and approach.
No, it's for sure. Like, it, you know, it's for me though. I look at what's going on now, and the fact that McDonald's and Taco Bell are essentials that's a disgrace. I mean, essentials should be like, everybody should be getting kale, cucumbers, and, you know, oranges brought to their door with chlorella, as opposed to McDonald's being open and called an essential. I think that is a travesty of a mockery of a sham, and very dangerous, because you're setting a precedent for, like, hey, and if you drive by the McDonald's, you know, people are around the block, bro. They're around the block. It's kind of crazy. I haven't eaten in a McDonald's. By the way, I used to eat at McDonald's every day. So this is when I was a kid, that was my shit. Now, is he frozen or am I frozen?
No,
Go
I
ahead,
froze.
Secretary.
Somebody called me.
Okay.
I also know that, you know, farmers market,
People keep calling Troy.
the farmers markets are open, so we can hit those up. Those are deemed essential. Until they close them, I recommend supporting your local farmer. I know you guys have an amazing farmers market in Hollywood on Sunday,
We
on
do.
High Bar.
Yep, we do. Troy, what are you drinking right now?
This is organic wheatgrass, spirulina. This is basically what I call liquid sunshine. So it's energy from the sun converted into digestible greens, juiced, sprouted, and then dehydrated. 2 scoops in water down the neck. Spirulina is the most proteinaceous green on the planet. It also helps to bring oxygen into the muscles when you're working out. And then wheatgrass has superoxide dismutase, which I learned from your friend, David Wolf. You know, it protects the cellular structure so that the cells replicate properly. They don't mutate, which is basically how cancer gets formed. So, you know, greens are a powerful force to nutrify. It's actually the greens are the life engine, or the engine of the closed organic life cycle.
So, Troy, would you say that greens are, and I know this is a very weird thing to say, but, like, I hate saying more important or less important, but are you talking, someone said, I'm talking steak, I'm talking deadlifts, I'm talking motherfucking hills. Okay. Hey, deadlifts and motherfucking hills all day. That ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody knows that. But are
And
you,
I do want to talk about that. So, but ask your question.
okay, are you saying that that is probably the most important thing you could get, is greens? I mean, over anything and above anything?
Well, the way I've studied nutrition and anthropology and biology, I mean, ultimately, you've got energy from the sun converted through photosynthesis into chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the exact same match to your hemoglobin. Hemoglobin's your red blood cells. It takes 120 days to rebuild your red blood cells and 6 to 9 months to regenerate your organs, depending on what you feed it. And so, if you want to rebuild or replace your spinal cord, your nose hairs, your eyeballs, we're replicating these cells completely every 7 years. So depending upon what you're feeding the body, will show up in your tissues. And so the herbivores eat the plants, and then the omnivores eat the herbivores and the plants, and everyone dies and goes back into the ground, where the microbes, the parasites, fungus, bacteria, viruses break down and decompose the solid matter and feed it back into the plants, which are carnivorous, and they uptake the minerals and the microbes from the plants. And this is biology on planet Earth. This is the closed organic life cycle. Life eats life, so it's not going away anytime ever. If you don't get your greens, you get a disease. And in northern climates like Norway, they get their sunlight converted through photosynthesis in algae, which I also take a lot of, but they get it through whale blubber, and they get their vitamin C through the animals in northern climates, through the animals that eat the grasses. And so this is just part of the closed organic life cycle. Life eats life. And I want to talk on the high intensity exercise too.
Yeah, talk about because you know when I was more in shape and I was running sprints up this street, that felt really good for my heart and my soul. Really, if you think about it, right? It's heart and soul. Troy, I've just been sketching you, just messing around a little bit with you right there, just fucking around, doing a little Troy drawing. So someone said, "What do you think of Tom Hanks?" But before I talk about Tom Hanks, we talk about hills. I think hills are. I used to do a lot of hill runs, and I think hills are incredibly, incredibly important. Deadlifts I can't speak to because I used to be a more of a pull-up like freak. Anytime I saw like a corner of a table, I would hit dips. Anytime I saw a ledge, I would do pull-ups. And this happened until really 3-4 years ago, until I tore my labrum and my rotator cuff from jiu-jitsu. But yes, Troy, talk about high intensity workouts, because I know that Lemoladora, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, is definitely into hills and deadlifts and anything that's going to, and this is another question for people who are a little bit older. Are those the things that are going to kind of keep you young? Because as we age, we're losing a certain amount of that testosterone. And I feel like those sprints, the high intensity sprints, the high intensity, just all deadlifts and anything explosive releases that youth pill into our body.
Yes, heavy weights definitely activate the testosterone. So let's back up. Let's go down to zero, and we'll explain movement exercise from the ground up, and then we'll give you the yin and the yang, and then people can make their own assessment and choices rolling out from there. So the purpose of exercise is to mobilize the lymph. The lymph is the interstitial fluid, and actually everybody's hip to the immune system now. The lymph carries the lymphocytes, which clean the blood and activate the immune system. It's a big part of the immune system. And you need proper hydration to move the lymph. A stagnant body of water turns into a cesspool. So my number one prescribed exercise for human beings is walking. It's the way the human body is designed to move through time and space.
Okay.
Right? This is the original Qigong or Tai Chi.
Interesting.
Right? You get that rhythmic movement. Before I got on here, I like to get my mind right in the morning, and I like to bump up my exercise even higher with grounding into the earth. Getting that negative redox potential, that antioxidant potential, ground in the Wi-Fi and the dirty electricity, the wattage, the fire, the yang, ground that into the earth, especially when the dew is on the grass. That increases the chi field. So I go out for a little cross crawl, get my mind right, harmonize the right and left hemispheres of the brain, and then I can start my day. I warm up my tissues. I'm 54, so going to look at a big rack of weights and starting my day out that way, I got to warm up my tissues first and foremost. Normally, I'd ride my bike down to Gold's, and that's enough of a warm-up, and I maybe stretch out a little bit more before I start hitting the weights. So let me just say this about exercise. Exercise is not a luxury. It's a necessity. The purpose of exercise is to move the lymph. And the pump, we have two pumps. We have the heart, and we have the that which moves the lymph, which is actually the diaphragm, the pelvic floor, and the transverse abdominis. So it's the body that actually pumps the fluid through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So walking barefoot, jumping up and down, exercise. I don't care how you exercise, that moves the lymph, and you want to move the lymph. So it's a necessity, not a luxury. So everyone sitting at home, you need to move your body every single day, whether you stay in place and you do my Zen swing, which will move every joint in the body, right? You just swing back and forth. 75% of your weight goes on one foot. You keep your eyes on the horizon, so the twist goes into the upper cervical units. You put your tongue on the roof of the mouth, and you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Close your eyes. This turns it into a movement meditation. Every joint is moving. This moves up into your toes, the other toes, your hips, your shoulders. And so you can do this. This is a Qigong move. Qi means energy. Gong means practice. It's an energy cultivation practice. So keep your exercise simple, but make sure that you're moving every day. When you have the proper levels of energy and athletic ability to lift the heavy weights, go for it. If you know what you're doing, if you've worked with a trainer, if somebody can see that your spine is aligned when you're lifting those big weights. Because here's the thing, most people, because of our sedentary lifestyle, sitting in a car for an hour or two, or sitting at a desk, it shuts down your glutes, and it tightens up your hip flexors.
Yeah, I feel that all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, just painting, you know what I mean? Just sitting here painting or driving everything. I feel that all the time. I could just feel how like it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then I'm just like, get up. I'm like, whoa.
And
I don't feel good.
What happens to us older guys, Justin, is we think that we remember in our 20s, we remembered when we picked up the heavy dumbbells, we felt good, we felt strong. But our tissues are different now. And so if you have these poor motor recruitment, poor, any kind of postural imbalances, when you load that up with weight, the potential for injury is huge. And from having a torn labrum, that
it's
could
bad.
sideline you. So
yeah, it's
my
true.
message,
You got to be careful.
Justin, I'm just going to end it here, is just choose your exercise wisely, move every day. Walking is enough. Zen swing is enough. When you've got the energy, hit the hard weights if you've got the proper motor recruitment. That's all I'm
Okay.
going to say.
So we have a lot of stuff to talk about right now. One is someone is asking about how do we protect the knees as we get older. And one of the things that I've noticed, for example, is that my daughter's 15, and her knees are trash, pretty banged up. My knees were really banged up breaking as a teenager. I think knees in general are not designed perfectly. The human anatomy, the knees are very delicate, so we have to be very careful. I feel like any kind of warm-ups you could do, like the skiers, you know how they kind of get up, it's hard to do it here, but they rotate their knees, just anything to warm it up, any kind of stretching. But knees in general, you just have to, I think any kind of quadricep lifts help. Anything will help, but just keep stretching and protecting it, because there's not like one thing. Just as a b-boy, as an ex-b-boy, you can't really protect your knees. It's built and it's designed in a way that's very fragile and delicate. So that's my thing about the knees. Troy, any other insight into the knees, how we could protect them?
Well, the way I'm trained to work with injuries is to surround the dragon. So you want to stretch and strengthen any area that's been injured or that you're having challenges with. And you also want to be intelligent with your body, because these types of injuries can sideline you. And then there's all sorts of implication just being 15 pounds overweight for stroke, diabetes, so you really want to stay active for your whole entire life. When it comes to surrounding the dragon, go into the systematic rehab technology. Yoga and Qigong, these are 5,000-year-old practices. A systematic yoga program can heal old injuries. And the yoga that I recommend is Iyengar style or yin yoga. It's restorative. And you'd be surprised, you get just as high out of a yin yoga class as you do a power yoga, because there's a big misconception around high intensity exercise, and people think yoga is gentle, and they do power yoga, and that's very yang. So surround the dragon, strengthen and stretching. The perfect example of that is Maradona played and was a world champion with 2 ripped ACLs, because his thighs and his hamstrings were so strong.
Yeah, well, that's also what I've, noticed from UFC fighters is a lot of them don't get the knee surgery because there's some surgeries that are really incredible. Shoulder surgery is not one of them at all. But hip surgery seems to be very effective. I know a lot of athletes who've had hip surgery and come back 100%. You tear your Achilles tendon, you're gone. Sorry. You know what I mean? That's just some shit we just don't have the technology for. Like when Kobe tore his Achilles, he never came back the same. And the same with everybody. Durant's going to be the same. But people that mess their hips up, you can get a hip replacement and be the bionic $6 million man. You're good. But I think the knee surgery is hit or miss. I've had friends who've come back, and I've had friends who are like, dude, my knees are just not the same. So I think what you're saying is just movements, subtle movements, always movement. You know what I mean? Just moving, walking, like you say. My mom's 81. She doesn't really take care of herself that well, but she walks a couple times a day because she's got dogs. And every day she's in the woods walking, and she's mobile. If you don't move it, you lose it. And it's so true. And then someone said their hips. Someone was saying that they're 39 years old and their hips hurt all the time. And with hips, same thing, man. You got to move, you got to dance. You got to just think about anything you could do to move your hips. Troy's going to get back and do some hip stuff. I guarantee it right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at how simple this exercise is. This exercise is so friggin' simple, and this, like water on granite. Your body's just gonna move. Close your eyes, put your tongue on the roof of the mouth, and do this for 5 to 20 minutes. If you do it for 5 minutes, it'll lubricate your tissues. If you do it for 20 minutes, word around the campfire is it'll heal any ailment, mental, emotional, or physical, or spiritual. Right? This is medical qigong. It's very gentle, rhythmic. It's going to harmonize the biological oscillators. It's going to move the synovial fluid, lubricate the joints, the ligaments, all the connective tissue, and more importantly, the fascia. They're figuring out the fascia is going to be like the gut microbiome discovery of the last decade. When they get really down with the fascia and they start to define that, the fascia is so important. It's the acellular tissue that wraps around the whole body. Your skull, your ankles. And so this is just going to gently, you do this out in your backyard, a little bit of moisture on the ground, you're going to get completely electrified. And then the body is a self-healing mechanism. It's going to heal itself. When you have the electricity running through you properly, the right minerals, the right vitamins, the nutrition, the clean water, you get good sleep, and you put all this together. I wrote that book, Ripped at 50. I'm telling you, most of my workouts are this. My warm-ups are my workouts these days. Feel amazing? Yes, I go hit the heavier weights. And so, but I'm nursing a little bit of an injury in my subscap right now, and I'm just laying low. So actually, coronavirus, I stopped lifting weights during this time. I'm not doing push-ups, not even doing air squats. I'm playing hide and go seek at a college near my house with my kids, and sprinting around when they chase me, and walking every day and doing some Zen swimming. And that's about it. The other thing that I want to show you guys that I think everybody should get is this thing right here. So you can purchase this. I got this at a garage sale. And so you just want to do some hanging, some gentle hanging. And you guys probably can't see, but let me
No, we can see. We can see you doing hanging.
I want to show you.
Hey, Bronco fan Rob, thanks for stopping in, bro. And Greg, thanks for having him stop in.
So here we go. You can see me on the floor there. So I just want to show you that my legs are still touching the ground. So even if you don't have the whole weight bearing,
Mm-hmm.
I can switch my legs. I can let go. I can let go of one hand
Mm-hmm.
and stretch that hip flexor. Look what
Uh-huh.
that's doing to my hip flexor. It's totally opening everything up.
Yeah.
Do this for 2 minutes a day.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Joe Rogan talks about that shoulder surgery that he had, and then he had some guy on the show talked about hanging,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't get the second surgery.
Yeah. I
So
mean, anything you could do to avoid that. And someone asked about shoulders, and take it from somebody who has a torn labrum and a torn rotator cuff. As simple as this: just taking your elbows together and pulling your hands apart,
yep,
just like that. That's incredible, right? Just like this.
yep.
It's a tremendous amount of resistance here, and you could do it as much as you want or as little as you want. And the further you go, you notice that your outside deltoids, so you have your deltoids are like a triangle, right? So that's why they're called deltoid. So you have your outside, your mid, so your rear, your mid, and your front deltoid, which is the clavicular portion of your deltoid. I used to teach anatomy. So
Oh
one
wow.
thing I noticed is that when I do that, after a while, you start feeling it here, and you just want to fire stuff, Troy. And I think that that's what we need to do is we need to just fire our own body, just like you have to fire your mind when you draw. Quick little drawing I did of Troy right there. No big deal. Um, yeah, Greg, I know your shoulder's fucked, and mine is too. You could either have some kind of torn fascia, or you could have just frozen. So even when you go to all the orthopedic surgeons and you go to all of the rehabilitation stuff, which I've been to everything, they tell you just keep moving it. You
Yeah.
have to keep moving it.
Here,
RJ, you know what I mean? You got to keep moving it. You can't stop. Like if it hurts to do this against the wall, you still have to do it, even if it's gentle and slow, because if you don't do it, everything starts locking up.
yeah, locking and popping. So
Everybody's shoulders are fucked up, bro. Like it's just we just got to get on top of it. Yeah,
with
avoid surgery if you can. In my opinion, the shoulder surgery it's hit or miss. Same with knee surgery.
so turn the palms up and look at it, and then switch.
Everybody do this. Everybody do this. Even if you're
You
even if
could,
you're sitting, Troy. If you're sitting, or no, you
yeah,
have to stand.
no, you could sit too. I mean, look, you could just start rolling those shoulders. Just make that stuff move. Look, I had black mold exposure. I had weird intramuscular pain and arthritis that would go from one joint to the next. Weirdo stuff, all up in my groin and go into my hip. I pull my shoulders all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started mobilizing everything. Another great shoulder one is, and whenever you
So
do any of this
simple.
qigong stuff, you get into a deeper horse stance, and you can go from side to side, start working the groin. But I like this one. Don't spill the champagne, right? You got a tray of champagne here, and you bring it out, up, over the head.
Yeah, I know that one. I love that one too. That's great. That's a good qigong one.
You practice with both hands, and then eventually you get both of them going, and it really is a good one for the mind.
And by the way, guys, when you really do this, you can start balancing a plate because if you want to be that level, you balance a plate and then you won't turn your hand over. Like if you do that, you
Or
know what
the
I'm saying? See,
qigong
like right there,
masters,
I turned it over.
the qigong masters would do the
That's good.
teacup. You don't spill any
Teacups,
of the
yeah.
water. But yeah, I mean, this shoulder's messed up a little bit more. So yeah, the articulation of my hand, and I feel it connected directly to my shoulder. I started doing this one, paint the wall
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and sideways. It's challenging to get that level of dexterity.
And then Troy, one day you'll be able to do this.
Oh, dude, that's inspiring. But you know
Because
what?
as a kid, all I did was I was always just practicing breaking and popping, and it was really just qigong, you
Yep,
know, urban
correct.
qigong. That's all it was.
Well, and my qigong practice. I went to Miami recently and saw Gucci Mane down at my friend's club, and I was there for Art Basel, and there was hip hop everywhere. And there I was doing my qigong full blown on the dance floor, man. And DJs were stopping, and all the hardcore homies were like, "Yo, man, what the hell is that?" And the thing is once you can articulate the joints, you can just find the beat. Bam, 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 bam. Right? You just find that beat, that 808 kick. Start moving into that. So
So Junomi asked, what about your elbows? She's saying that she's sitting at a desk 8 hours a day, the elbows. And I think that too, I mean, it's just moving, right? It's just, you got to think about if we're a skeleton, we want to get oil to the joints. We want to
correct.
bring oil to the joints. We want to bring movement to the joints. We want to bring liquid to the joints. That's why hanging and inversions, someone keeps mentioning inversions is good because you're basically just moving the body, bringing oil to the joints.
Correct. Lubricate the joints. And here's a news flash. What are you lubricating your tissues with? What is the quality of the nutrition that you're sticking down your neck? What's the
Yep.
quality of the water
Yep.
that you are utilizing? Are you grounding in the electromagnetic frequencies and pollution that are a major stress on the human body?
Yep.
Or do you have a grounding pad at your desk? Do you get out into the grass at least 20 minutes a day and ground in, or do you
Yep.
have all that inflammation living inside of your body, and then you go to sleep, you can't sleep because you have discordant energies. So ground into the earth at least once a day, minimum. Buy some grounding sheets for your desk, buy some grounding sheets for your bed, because that will lower the inflammation and allow your body to heal itself. And
So
then do some kind of rhythmic, qigong that's going to open up. It's going to open up the elbow, and go, and don't be afraid to go see a good manual therapist and invest in either a personal yoga session, which is the same price as a good massage, because they will help move that energy while you're in those yoga poses.
I mean, Troy, it's pay now or pay later, right, bro? It's pay now or pay at the hospital later, or pay at the, pay with the medicine later. The medicine ain't going to heal you. You're going to heal yourself. The medicine is going to only allow yourself to heal yourself. And that's just the
Correct.
truth, right? Your body, we're talking about a system that's based on dealing with symptoms, not getting to the issue. The issue is always the tissue. The issue is us. We have to heal our own stuff to be able to be open to the experience of being helped by any kind of medicine. You know what I mean? So people have to know that, like, there's not going to be a pill that's going to just cure your ass. That shit ain't going to work. You're not going to take a pill and get in shape like Troy. You're gonna work out. You're gonna exercise. You're gonna eat well. You're gonna intermittent fast. You're going to get sunshine. It's a holistic approach, guys. There's no news flashes. You're not gonna be a great painter by watching me paint. Newsflash, you're going to take a lot of hard work, sweat equity, and trials and tribulation. Newsflash, it takes, a lot of time and energy. It's the real deal. Newsflash,
Ah,
right
baby,
here.
I love
Say hi.
babies.
Say hi.
Look at that baby, man. I
She is
love it.
a she's a newsflash. She's a super super duper healthy. So it's a lot of energy, a lot of work. Shout out to Greg Anzalone on this feed. He is the man. He is the man. And he bikes every day, Troy. You bike too, right? Tell me about biking and what that does for your body.
Well, I mean, we got to get around, right? And I live next to the beach, but you can live anywhere that you can commute. I heard David Lee Roth on Joe Rogan. He's 65 years old. He bikes everywhere. You
That's
know,
good, man.
So move it or lose it, guys. And the bike just keeps you moving. And there's nothing more expressive of your individuality and personal freedom than just cruising on your bike in the sun.
And biking also is good, Troy, because as we get older, it's really gentle on the knees, right?
Oh, it's
I mean,
very,
it's
very, very gentle on the body. Yeah, you want to get a good bike with a good position. I have a tall hybrid, so I sit like this on my bike, and I have big tires. It's a city bike, and because my mountain bike's like this, and you got to be more ready to work out than the mountain bike. So I got a city bike that's up like that, and you got to stretch out the hip flexors still, like anything else, and yeah, but it's great to just be mobile. And I've been riding bike consistently, 100% for a couple of years. I was without a car. Um, but to tell you the truth, I do prefer walking just because, I can walk forever and it just pumps up the muscles and the circulation, clears the mind. So both, because I need to
okay.
get around town a little faster, I do ride the bike. But hey,
So
Angelic Baby Girl says, what movements are best for the wrists that have been fractured in the past? I broke both my wrists as a kid. I fell on them like that from a second-story balcony. And so, what I like to do is just keep them moving and articulate the fingers.
yeah, anything like this too, any kind of thing where you're moving the wrist
Got
like
another
that.
phone call. Yeah, you can stretch the fingers out. Just remember everything's connected. So you can place them on the ground as well. Put your hands here, and then stretch the forearms.
Yep.
Again, the qigong and anything that's going to systematically move the hands and articulate the fingers and stretch out the forearms, mobilize the shoulders are going to be connected to the wrist. So just keep moving everything.
And Troy, what I don't really do enough of, which I always do with you, is the breathing. So can we do some breathing? Can you lead us through some breathing so we can all breathe together? And anybody who's not going to breathe, just breathe anyway. And just do it. Trust me, y'all gonna do it. It's gonna be great.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. Hold on one second. Scotsman McFadden says, dumb question. What's a grounding sheet? A grounding sheet plugs into the ground of the wall. You've got three plugs. You've got the AC/DC power. And then on the bottom, that round one, that's the grounding. You have to be grounded to create the electricity. And so you plug that in, put a sheet or the pillowcases, and get grounded. Earthing.com. I know your buddy David Wolf sold them for a while and had Clint Ober, who did
Yep.
all the work on
I used to
earthing.
have it all. I don't know if I believe in it. I don't know if I believe in it, but I used to have it, and I know that I think David even proved it with the meter that you can get, whatever. But I mean, it's great. I mean, if it works for you, it works. I had it forever. I was on that shit for so long, and then I was like, does this shit work? Like, you know what I mean? I was just questioning it.
Well, it's basic physics and electricity, and it does work. I mean, taking your shoes off and grounding into the earth does work. It has a
Yeah, I
negative
agree with
redox
that.
potential.
I agree with
Whether
that.
those sheets are that accurate, that's debatable. Whether
Right.
the silver filaments wear out, etc. However, it does have application, and Clint Ober has massive amounts of research for
Okay.
arthritis and all sorts of age-related issues. He did at UCLA and the sleep department as well. So, and they're hybriding the technology as well. I just connected with a guy that wants to buy earthing.com, and he's got a $700 mattress cover. So it's advancing. The bottom line is grounding
Yeah.
definitely makes you feel better.
Yeah, and Los Angeles on Fire says that in babies you always got to look at babies what they're doing, and babies ground in earth every day if you let them, and that's true. Like babies want to be in earth, they want to put their, my baby every day wants to put her hands in earth. She wants to eat the earth. She wants to be inside of it. So it's a good indication that that's what we need to be doing if babies are doing it. Although babies will put tacks in their mouth, so that's maybe not the greatest thing to follow. But you know what I'm saying, right? The natural instinct of a human baby is to be in earth. That's a good point.
Okay, so Angelica Baby Girl again says that her wrists, they hurt and they're popping and it hurts so much. So again, boost up the nutrition and keep that stuff moving. Maybe try some hot Epsom salt baths, some sauna, move those tissues. Do my detox program, clean out the tissues a couple of times a year. Get the body running extremely efficient, and then just keep moving that stuff. You have an injury, and my mentor likes to say, oh, you've got an injury? Oh, you have cancer? Wonderful. Your guru has now shown up.
There you go. There you go. Heavy shit, bro. Heavy shit. Okay. Time to breathe, everybody.
Okay, awesome. I'm so stoked we're going to breathe. So I get my breathing in. So we're going to do, I'll just sit back
And
here.
Troy, I want to say one more thing before we breathe. I've been trying to hold my breath, but I'm having a hard time holding it even for a minute. Is that terrible? I did it for a minute once, but then every other time I'm hitting like 54 seconds, 56 seconds. I'm not able to hit over a minute. What's going on? I feel like it's psychological too. It's fucking me up.
Well, if that's what you think, it's psychological. Maybe it is. I wouldn't worry about holding the world record in breath hold.
I don't think I'm even holding an average record. I think I'm below average, so I'm a little like, what's going on?
Well, the way I say it is, ultimately there's no perfection, and comparison is the thief of joy. So I would just say, hey, how does Justin BUA feel after he breathes? And if you feel better,
great. Yeah, I feel great. When I breathe, I very much feel a big difference.
Okay, so that's, to me, that's all that really matters. Just keep breathing. And there's multiple ways. Sometimes when you do exhale retention and inhale retention, you don't hold as much. I like to blow all the gas out of my air, like the Gracies, gas out of my lungs, and then hold. And there's 20 seconds of right there, and I hold. And the exhale retention is less than the inhale retention. So let's just try it and see what happens. See where we go. I like to get my body into it a little bit more, and so I got a little grounding pad I brought from the Hippy Dippy Doo Conscious Life Expo. It's made out of crushed crystals and essential oils and stuff. So it's basically like the earth, vibesup.com. And so I don't know if it works, but I like the dude that sold it. Vibes up.
Nice.
So, okay. So here we go. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Out through the mouth, you can make a sound, scrape the back of the throat. It's going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, feed and breathe part of your nervous system, which is where you want to be. You want to be in a rested Zen state, so that you can respond from there. And so, and then we're going to do exhale retention, blow all the air out, hold, wait till the reflex, then breathe in and hold that. We'll just see what happens.
So it's out through the nose, in through the mouth?
In through the nose, out
through the nose. Got it.
And so I like to get my body into it, my spine. The yogis say you're as young as your spine is flexible. So open up the lungs and the diaphragm, and then exhale like that. Okay, so here we go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Here we go, guys. Give it all you got. Keep breathing, guys. If you're tingling, that's fine. Just keep breathing through it. All the sensations that you feel are fine. Keep breathing. oxygenating the body, you're oxygenating the blood, you're oxygenating the brain. Exhale all the way. Hold. Inhale, hold. Get eye on your own supply. Come back to center, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're doing right now, we're just doing some breath work. Everybody join in. If you guys are just coming in, then don't freak out. They're like, BUA the painter, he's doing some breathing. Yeah, I'm fucking breathing. It's good for you. Y'all should do it too, motherfuckers, and stop this bullshit and just get healthy and do it with us. That's what we're doing. It's going to be great. Let's go, Iceberg Slick. Let's go, DC Martinez, Johnny Utah. We're in this together, man. We are brothers right here.
Breath is life. And so while we're at that, let's do a little bit of facial yoga, right? We'll do a couple more rounds of breath, but right now we'll do some facial yoga. So check in with yourself and see the qualities of the energy that you had before you started breathing, right? All right. And so when you do the facial yoga, we got a lot of tension. The mind stores tension into the body tissues, and it goes down the neck first. So stretch out the jaw and stick out the tongue at the same time. You can make a sound if you want to. Activate the parasympathetic vagus nerve system. Jut the jaw forward to get that extra stretch in the front of the neck, which is so important. This is how you get a real facelift, right? All you Hollywood actresses out there. This is a real facelift, right? So get your eyeballs into it, right? We're tracking. Our eyes are tracking down and in, looking at all these devices. So how about up and out? So do eye circles. Put your lip over your teeth and stretch your nose. Get your neck into it a little bit. Be gentle with yourself. Find out where your kinks are. Get a little mobility into those kinks. Stretch that jaw out. You can do this too. You'd be surprised at how much stuff gets stored in the old facial structure.
And Troy, if I may interject, I had a teacher who said that he would do circles, he would do left, he would do right. He was in his 80s. He was one of the greatest draftsmen ever. And all the artists I know, because they draw from life so much, they exercise their eyes. They don't lose their vision. They don't wear glasses. So eyes are a muscle, guys. If you're a painter and an artist, the eyes are a muscle. Up, down, side, around and around. It's a muscle. The more you use it, the better your eyesight will be. Trust me, in the art world, the masters don't lose their eyesight.
And you can get rid of your glasses. The guys that teach this stuff, the eyes are a muscle. You got to stretch and strengthen them. Look far away, look close, look far away. So if you're on the computer, look far away. Every 20 minutes, you got to do this. Hopefully you look outside like me, different colors, look far away, look close, look far away, look close. Because we track those muscles down and in on the computer screens for hours at a time, and that is going to atrophy those muscles. So good anecdote there, Justin. Eye exercises are very important. In fact, it always reminds me that I need to do more. Okay, so let's do our second round of breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Here we go, guys. Get your body into it. And so, here we go. Exhale all the way. Hold. Hold. Inhale, hold. You can use the compression to stretch out your shoulders. Let go. Check in, see what the qualities of your mindset is before we started and now. Exhaling the breath like that lets all the anger, the dank breath. So if you smell some dank breath, click on the link in my bio. Let's do the cleanse. Let's clean out a couple times a year. You know, we all need help cleaning out this environmental toxicity. Let's jump right into it, and then we'll end it. We're going to do breath of fire. Stick your thumbs out like that. Arms at a 90-degree angle. I'm sorry, a 60-degree angle. And we're just going to pump the diaphragm by breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So it's pumping the diaphragm. Here we go. Breath of fire, guys. Keep going, guys. Challenge yourself. Inhale, hold. Come back to center. See, you held your breath longer than me, dude.
Yeah, first time probably. Yeah.
You know, there is no perfection. Just do what you can, but probably feel better. And,
Someone
yeah,
says your work's so important, bringing true health and vitality to the people. I've been doing all this stuff, and it truly works with the foundation, the word. The world is your playground. Nice done, guys. Thank you, brother. Drum Cropin. Thank you, brother.
God
Thank you,
bless.
Tanner. Yeah, it makes you sweat. Iceberg, brother. Yeah, man. Just follow Troy. Just check out his links and everything. He's the man. Iceberg's my brother in Vegas. Thanks, Scotsman. Woo, that was good. Los Angeles on fire. Love all you guys.
Yeah,
These are dangerous exercises. Dangerously good.
that's correct.
Johnny, you feel good? Johnny, you feel good? Because you said wow. I hope you felt good. Eat digestive sounds. Thank you, brother. Don't forget to send me that music because you got to make my thing, bro. Okay. Thank you, Duncan Tran 21. Eat with joy, eat with love. Thank you so much. I eat with joy and love. Even if it's potato chips, I'd eat with the motherfucking love. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm eating nothing this morning, Troy, just to let you know. I am giving my body just a rest time.
Sweet. Yeah, me too. I had the green juice, and that was it. Iceberg Slick. My face yoga, I do believe I have that in my stress management course, which comes absolutely free with the purchase of the hardcover collector's edition of my book. So otherwise, I think the stress management course is on the link in my bio. And you know what? I got a couple free videos on YouTube. If you just Google facial yoga certified health nut Troy Casey, you should be able to find those videos. But thanks for doing all this exercise with me, guys, because that's how I keep fit. You know, I turn on my lives and I do breathing, you know, almost every day. You know, so it keeps me honest.
Yeah, that was good, dude. I feel really good. I always feel better. You know, it's like, yeah, follow Troy, guys. Just don't sleep on Troy. He is a gift to all of us. And he is Iceberg Slick just said following. Petit Fleur Décilly 69 says merci beaucoup. Thank you. Scott's McFadden, that is my brother right there. Thank you, Funky Nut. Dope, good session. Absolutely, guys. How do you feel about metal implants for broken bones? We got about 1 minute left. Probably doesn't feel great about it. I mean, if you can't avoid it, avoid it.
Well, yeah, there's form and function. Look, I think I have 2 or 3 implants, titanium implants in my jaw, and you know, otherwise I look like a toothless, a toothless guy, and you know, that's not helpful for my money making potential, my career in front of the camera. I won't be able to masticate food. So you know, is it perfect? No, but I would work with a specialist that's going to do the best work possible with the least amount, the most biocompatible materials.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but again, hip replacement, knee replacement, once you go down that road, that's why you're going to want to heal as much naturally as possible. But when it comes to my mouth and my dentist, I have a holistic dentist. I do the best I can. So always do the best you can. Be as cognitive as you possibly can about the choices that you make, about the surgeries that you have. And the older you get, you know, you form and function, do the best you can. But remember, Qigong is going to heal most things. So before you let someone cut and slice you open and put exogenous metals into your body.
Right. You got cool. Certified Health Nut. Follow him. We got to go. Love you, Troy. Love everybody out there. I'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 with David Arquette. You guys know David Arquette, the great actor. He'll be here at 10:30 tomorrow. We'll be drawing, and who knows? I'll make him do some eye exercises and shit. Love you, brother. Peace.
Love you, man. Thanks so much.
Of course. Bye-bye.